Hello, this is yours truly, Charles Prosper, with another installment of Success Through Consistency. And if you don't know who I am and what I do, again, my name is Charles Prosper, and I help people to achieve their most important goals through the power and the principle of remaining consistent. And before I get into the subject matter of today, I just want to say quickly that I never want you to leave here empty-handed. I always have gifts for you coming here. If you haven't already gotten them, I want you to do it today. First of all, there is my best-selling book, which you can get on Amazon for about $20. Why Consistency is the Key to All Success, and How to Be Consistent to Achieve Any Goal. You can also get it here for free as a PDF download just by looking here. If you happen to be on YouTube, look at the links below, you can download it. Or if you happen to be on my Facebook group, you can see links below where you can download the PDF of this book as well. Absolutely excellent. I say excellent because I wrote it and I know what's in it, and therefore confidently I can say it's excellent. Speaking of such, type in your Facebook, type in Success Through Consistency, and join the Facebook Mastermind group where we help each other as accountability partners to achieve our most important goals. One last thing, there's an audio that I did 4 or 5 years ago, absolutely excellent, on the subject of consistency, 30 minutes, that I think that you will absolutely adore. Now, with that said, I'm going to go into the subject matter of today, which is something that motivational speakers don't like to address because it's kind of like a downer, but it is reality. The average person is not consistent, and the average person will never be consistent, even if they go to 1,000 motivational seminars by the most charismatic leader you can ever imagine. And the reason is that the average person tends to follow the crowd. The average person tends not to want to go through beyond their comfort zone. Now, there is a scientific principle that backs up what I'm saying. Well, first of all, let's make some kind of operational definition of what average is. When I say average person, if you take any population sample, and usually the larger the sample, the more accurate this particular principle will be. Let's say of 1,000 people. They will conform to what is called the bell-shaped curve. That is, with the majority of people, the percentage of the majority of people that are not highly achieving, but just achieving on a moderate level. And then you're going to find on the left end of this bell-shaped curve, the people who don't make any effort at all, the people who some would call losers, who just don't even try. And then on the far right end of this bell-shaped curve, you find the highly motivated, gifted people. Let me show you what it looks like, and I'll explain to you how this works. And I'll kind of establish myself to show that it's only going to be the 5 or 10% of the people who are going to be successful ever. And you're going to have to decide if you're going to be of that 5 or 10%. Okay, take a look at this. And you will see that the bell-shaped curve is basically explaining the population statistics of any random sample of people. The larger the statistical sample, the better. From left to right, you're going to find the performance capabilities of the persons. And from top to bottom, the arrow shows the actual percentage of people. So if this entire graph represents 1,000 people, let's say intelligence, IQ. IQ conforms to the bell-shaped curve, which means that if you take 1,000 people, the majority of people will have what's called average intelligence. On the far left end, you have the mentally challenged that have very low IQ, and then which 5 or 10%, and then on the far right hand side you find your gifted people that are considered highly intelligent. So that the majority of people, the percentage, if this is a bell-shaped curve representing 1,000 people, if I mark off right here where the bell is most prominent, this will be the majority. And let's say this would represent 900 people. So that on each far end, you'd have 50 people of the low achievement category and 50 people of the high achievement category. Now, this phenomena of the bell-shaped curve happens with any type of human activity. If you sample randomly 1,000 people, let us take New Year's resolutions. You have 1,000 people that make a New Year's resolution to do a certain thing. Let's check back from January to April, and you will find that the majority of people have left their New Year's resolutions aside. And then if you look at the bell-shaped curve, the percentage of people who never made one is going to be on the far left. The percentage of people who kept up with it are going to be on the far right, 5 or 10%. Not only does New Year's resolutions conform to the bell-shaped curve, let's take going to the gym. 1,000 people decide to go to the gym. And in January and then in April, what happens? The majority of people will have stopped, but the minority of people, the 5 or 10%, will be very consistent and will have never stopped from the time they enrolled. And then on the far left would be the people who never even made the attempt to enroll in the gym. Those are the two extremes. Let's take Tony Robbins seminars or any motivational speaker. You have a motivational speaker that has 1,000 people, let's say, rah, 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 entering into an auditorium, convinced that they're going to change their lives, convinced that they're going to do something so different, and that this motivational speaker is making them feel that they can do anything that they need to do. They walk out of the seminar. I'll be willing to bet 6 months later, the majority of people have gone back to their normal way of life, and that only 5 or 10% will actually follow through. And the 5% that follow through usually are following through not because of what happened in the seminar, but rather what happens internally in the mind and heart of a successful person that's independent of any outside influencer. And on the far left are people who never even enrolled into the seminar. So we have these type of phenomena that conform to the bell-shaped curve, in as much as that you have the majority of people who just perform in a way that's less than their maximum for whatever reason there is. Usually is that the majority of people don't want to go beyond their comfort zone. Consistency is very unnatural. It is one of the most unnatural things that you can experience, because consistency not only means that you have to move beyond your comfort level, you have to move beyond your comfort level on a daily basis for at least 30 days until it becomes a habit. And this is something that the majority of people do not want to do. I mean, the thing is this, is that you don't have to have, it's not important that everybody be successful if that's what their choice is, as long as you decide that you want to be successful. The Bible says that the poor will always be amongst us. I only say that you don't have to be one of them. And my daughter says if everyone was a millionaire, no one would be a millionaire. This is something she said when she was 11 years old. She's 22 now. And the thing is that if you become upset at the idea when I say that, if you look at the pyramid of success, with the people of the pyramid on the top 5% are at the top, and then the bottom layers of the pyramid, you find most of the majority of people. Most people conform to average behavior according to statistics. And it's absolutely important and indispensable that most people be average, because above average would not even be possible. Now, don't get upset with me. This is the way it has always been. If you look at history, all throughout history, it's always been the 5 or 10% that have made the most difference and impact on the world. And the 5 or 10% are willing to do what the 90% are never willing to do. Now, if you become upset at the idea when I say that the average person is not consistent and will never be consistent, and you get upset, then you're raising your hand, you're saying, hey, I'm average. I identify myself with that group. That's unfortunate because there's no force that makes anyone average. It is a choice. It is a choice. It's a phenomenon that baffles me why the majority of people choose not to excel. Now, who or what determines if you are going to excel and be of the 5 or 10%? Go right now and look in the mirror, and the person that you see is the person that will decide if you are going to be of the 5 or 10%. And again, as the Bible says, the poor will always be amongst us, but I say you don't have to be one of them. So choose you this day who you will serve. Will you choose mediocrity or will you choose excellence? Will you choose to move beyond your comfort zone? Will you choose to be willing to do whatever it takes? Will you choose to go through the pain, the disappointment, the setbacks, the having to solve the problems that are in the way of you achieving your goals without giving up? Are you willing to try just one more time? Are you willing not to give up on your dream? Hey, that's a tall order for the average person. Are you of the 5 or 10%? You have to decide. No one can put you there or keep you there other than yourself. That's my message for today. So it's all about choice. It's all about deciding who you want to be. Leave me your comments on what you think about this. And if you like the things that I say, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, like would be wonderful. And I appreciate more than anything else your comments. I want to get engagement and feedback. If you leave a good enough question, I'll create a video on it. How about that? Is that a deal? All right. Thank you so much again. And remember, consistency is the key to all success. I will talk to you next time. Thank you.